Hayes bridge. In order to overcome the problem which we are getting with Maxwell's bridge, we'll go for Hayes bridge. So the next type of bridge is Hayes bridge. So Hayes bridge is obtained by incorporating a small modification in Maxwell inductance and capacitance bridge, and that small modification is instead of connecting the capacitor in parallel with this resistance R4, we'll place this capacitor in series and the remaining everything is same. So a little modification made in Maxwell's bridge can give us Hayes bridge. It is also used to measure the unknown inductance of the test coil. So this is the resistance and inductance of the test coil, and here you will have in the third arm you have a fixed resistance, and here also you have a fixed resistance, and here instead of connecting the capacitor in parallel to the resistance, what I am doing is I am just connecting uh, it in series. Okay, so here you will have R1 and here you have L1. So here we can consider this as R2, sorry, I am considering this as R2 and this as R3. Here you will have R4 and C4. So as usual, we'll connect the detector here and we'll connect the AC source here, right? Now, just give the voltages, or first of all get the balance condition. First we will see how to obtain the balance condition. Okay, because why I am doing for each and every bridge is, in the numerical problems they will give just all these resistance capacitance values. You need to find the unknown resistance and inductance. Okay, it is very difficult for every bridge to remember the balance equations. That is the reason why you need to know generalized balancing equation, which is Z1 into Z4 is equal to Z2 into Z3, right? Now what is Z1? So Z1 is, see now the capacitance and resistance are in series combination. Whether you represent this in admittance form or if you represent this in impedance form, there is no much simplification which you will get from the analysis. But see here, Z1 is the series combination of resistance and inductance. So you will get R1 plus j omega L1, and Z4 is R4 plus 1 by j omega C4. Okay, and it is equal to Z2 into Z3, just R2 into R3. This is R2 into R3. Just multiply each and everything. So what is the first term you will get? It is R1 into R4. Second term is R1 by j omega C4. Third term is j omega into L1 into R4. Fourth term is, if you multiply this term and this term, j omega gets cancelled. You will get L1 by C4 and it is equal to R2 into R3. Just compare real and imaginary terms. Comparing real and imaginary terms. What are the real terms here? R1 R4 plus L1 by C4, R1 R4 plus L1 by C4, and it is equal to R2 R3. From this just write just keep this in a more simple form. by multiplying C4 with each and every term, you will get R1, R4, C4 plus L1 is equal to C4, R2, R3. Okay. So just keep this equation as it is. We'll look into it later. Then comparing the real terms. So okay. Okay, now here you don't have imaginary term, so it is 0, and here you will have the imaginary term. So what I can write is R1 by j omega C4 plus j omega L1 into R4 is equal to 0 if you compare the imaginary terms. So what I can write this equation as by multiplying the numerator and denominator with j, you will get j into r1, and j into j is j square, which is minus 1. So you will get minus j, let me multiply with the j omega, okay, or leave it as it is. So minus j r1 divided by omega c4, and it is equal to, send this term to RHS side, you will get again minus j omega into L1 R4. Okay. Now just cancelling minus j and minus j here, you will get R1 by omega C4 is equal to omega L1 into R4. Modifying this equation a little bit, you will get R1 is equal to omega square, omega into omega, omega square L1 R4 into C4. Okay, or I can write this as okay, let me substitute, let me keep this in form of L1. L1 is equal to R1 by omega square R4 C4. Is it right or not? Now substitute this equation here. What you will get? Substituting this equation here, you will get R1, first term as R1 R4 C4 plus, what is L1? L1 is R1 by omega square R4 C4, and it is equal to C4 R2 R3. Now take the resistance R1 as common from both the equations, from both the expressions in the LHS side. So R1 is equal to, R1 into R4C4 plus 1 by omega square R4C4 is equal to C4 into R2 R3. Is it right? Now taking the LCM here, you will get omega square R4 C4, and if you multiply this, you will get omega square R4 square C4 square plus 1, and it is equal to C4 into R2 R3. So R1 into, multiplying with C4 and C4, you will get a C4 square R2 R3 R4. So what you will get, omega square R2 R3 R4 C4 square divided with 1 plus omega square R4 square C4 square. Okay. So this is the equation for R1. This is the equation for R1. This is one of the balancing equation. And we'll go for the next one. Okay, as we have L1 in terms of R1, substituting this equation now here in L1, what you will get, let me take the second page, another page. Now L1 is equal to, first I will write the denominator as it is. What is the denominator? 1 by omega square R4C4, 1 by omega square R4C4 multiplied with this one, omega square R2 R3 C4 square in the numerator, omega square R2 R3 C4 square in the numerator, divided with 1 by omega square R4 square C4, right? So cancel the common terms. So omega square will get cancelled, and C4, 1 C4 will get cancelled. So you will get L1 as R2 R3 by R4 into, okay, so I missed the R4 here again. So R4 into C4 square. So that R4 and R4 also gets cancelled. C4 get one C4 and another C4 gets cancelled. So in the numerator, what you will get? R2, R3 and C4. One C4 got cancelled, divided with 1 plus omega square R4 square C4 square, C4 square. Similarly, what is R1 value? I have written already here R1 value. So it is omega square R2 R3 R4 C4 square divided with 1 plus omega square R4 square C4 square. So these two are the balancing equations for Hayes bridge, which is a small modification. Okay, so Hayes bridge can also be now called as modified modified Maxwell's bridge. Modified Maxwell's bridge is nothing but Hayes bridge. So Hay is the name of the scientist who invented this bridge, who gave the idea of this bridge. Now if you observe, the difficulty of this bridge is balance equations are not simple to understand. Is it right or not? And also it took a long time, it took more time to get the balancing equations. This is the major difficulty with the Hayes bridge. So balance equations are not easy to understand, This is one of the major drawback which we may observe. And the second drawback is the balancing of this bridge, balance equations of this bridge depends upon omega. What is omega? Omega is 2 pi into f, which is the supply frequency. So balancing of this bridge depends upon the frequency of supply. Balancing of this bridge depends on frequency of the supply. Now what we need to do in order to get the balancing in a smooth way, we need to fix this frequency. The input frequency must remain constant. Okay. Hence Hayes bridge is also called as a fixed frequency bridge. Hayes bridge is also called as fixed frequency bridge. Why it is called as fixed frequency bridge? Okay. Why it is called as fixed frequency bridge? Because the balancing equations here for this bridge depends upon the frequency of the supply. In order to get the balancing in a smooth manner, we need to make the supply frequency a fixed one. Okay. So these are the two major drawbacks of Hayes bridge. Balance equation means getting the balancing equation is difficult, and also these balance equations are not easy to understand. And the third drawback is balancing of this bridge depends upon the frequency of the supply. So we need to keep the frequency of the supply constant in order to get the balance condition in a smooth manner. In addition to all these things, you cannot separate. So the major third another drawback is we cannot separate the common and uncommon terms. Cannot separate common and uncommon terms. Common and uncommon terms. See, if you observe here, what are the common terms? Common terms are, see here, C4 present here, R4 present here, and R2 is also present here, R3 is also present here. Everything is common here. So we cannot separate common and uncommon terms. So we need to change each and everything here. So R4, C4, and R2, R3. So we need to change each and everything in order to get the balance condition. Okay. So these are the major disadvantages of AC bridge, but Hayes bridge. But the one and only advantage which allowed us to neglect all these drawbacks is it is used for measurement of high Q coils. Maxwell's bridge is used for measurement of the inductance of medium Q coils, whereas it is used for high Q coils. How can I say? See here, what is quality factor for the test coil? It is omega L1 by R1. If you take the ratio of L1 by R1, denominators will get cancelled, right? So omega into L1 by R1. If you divide if you divide L1 with R1, denominator will get cancelled. So what about the numerators? Numerators will become like this: R2, R3, C4 divided with this one, omega square R2, R3, R4, C4 square, right? One omega and another omega gets cancelled. Okay, so you will get this as R2 gets cancelled, R2 gets cancelled. So when you divide, omega L1 by R1. Okay, everything is correct. Let me check. R2, R3, C4. Okay. So R2, R3 gets cancelled. One C4 and another C4. So we'll get 1 by omega C4 R4. So this is quality factor for this bridge. Is it right or not? Now, how can I write L1? By including this here in place of omega R4 C4, we can write omega C4 R4. I can write 1 by Q. Now substituting in place of this 1 by Q, L1 will become R2, R3, C4 divided with 1 plus 1 by Q whole square. Similarly, how can I write R1? R1 can be written as omega square R2, R3, R4, C4 square divided with 1 plus 1 by Q square. Okay. So in that particular case, what actually we can do is, if quality factor is higher, if the quality factor is very much higher, maybe of the order of 100, okay, In that particular case, 1 by q is very much less than 1. Okay, it is very much less than 1, or 1 by q square can be neglected. You can neglect 1 by q square value when compared to 1. So you can neglect these two terms. In that particular case, the balancing equations will become much simpler than previous one. Previously, if the quality factor is of medium or low value, we cannot neglect it, as we cannot neglect this term, which is this term. Getting the balance condition is very difficult and also complicated process. Whereas if the quality factor is high enough, so that we can neglect 1 by q square value, because if q is 100, 1 by q is 0.01. What about 1 by q square? 1 by q square is 1 by 10 power 4. 1 by 10 power 4 is 0.301. This is a very lesser value, so we can neglect this value. As we are neglecting this value, the balancing equations are getting simple. When the balancing equations are simple, it is very easy to obtain the balance condition. That is the reason why we prefer Hayes bridge only to measure high Q coils. It is not useful for measuring the inductance of low or medium Q coils, because we cannot neglect this term. When Q is low or medium, we cannot neglect this term. When we cannot neglect this term, R1 and L1 depends upon every parameter, so it is very difficult to obtain balance condition. Okay, so this is about the major drawbacks as well as the advantages of Hayes bridge, which we can use these advantages for our own applications. And in addition to that, we must draw the phasor diagram. This is the Hayes bridge for which now we want to draw the phasor diagram. So before going to do that, let me consider this as the voltages. So consider this voltage as E1, and considering this voltage as E3. So consider this voltage as E2, and this voltage as E4. So what we will do? We will draw the phasor diagram under balanced condition, which means that the current through the detector is 0. When the current through the detector is 0, you will have two currents. One is this current is I1, and another one is this current. And what is this current? This current is I2. Okay, now start from a simple simple step, considering I1 as the reference. I am considering I1 as the reference, and consider this voltage. So I1 into R3 is E3. So I am going in a very simple manner. So I1 into R3. So this is I1 into R3, which is also equal to E3. Now, under balanced condition, as the detector current is equal to 0, this terminal and this terminal are at the same potential. Now E3 will become equal to E4. When E3 is equal to E4, I can write here itself E4. But E4 is the summation of two voltages. One is the voltage across the resistance and voltage across the capacitance. Is it right or not? Now, what is the voltage across the resistance? It is I2 into R4. What is that? I2 into R4. Now, considering, as I don't know how I2, I am considering this as I2, this as I2 into R4 drop, I2 into R4 drop. How is I2 into C4 drop? I2 into C4 drop must lead this resistive drop by 90 degrees. So I am considering this as I2 into C4, I2 into, or sorry, I2 by omega C4, because the voltage drop across the capacitor is I2 into Z. What is Z for a capacitor? It is 1 by j omega C4. So 1 by omega C4 into I2. This is the drop across the capacitor. So I2 by omega C4 and I2 into R4. The resultant of these two must be E4. Is it right or not? So here the resultant of these two. So this is this phasor, which is E3 phasor, which is same as E4 phasor, is the resultant of two phasors. One is the resistive drop and another one is the capacitive drop. So the capacitive drop must lead the resistive drop by 90 degrees. By 90 degrees. Okay. Now this is E3. We got E3 and E4. It is completed. And this one. What is this drop? It is I2. The current flowing through this path is I2. And what is this drop? It is E2. E2 is I2 multiplied with R2. I2 multiplied with R2. How is I2? I2 is in phase with I2 R4, right? So you will have I2 here, or I can consider this as I2 into R2. Now what is I2 into R2? I2 into R2 is same as E2. E2 is nothing but E1. But what is E1? E1 is the resultant of R. Okay. So I made a mistake, I think so. Let me check where I have done that mistake. So I think this is so I think this is the current which we need to take. Okay. Here this is I2 into I2 by omega C4, I think so. This is the capacitive drop, right? Okay, the voltage across the capacitance must lag the current by 90 degrees. So, sorry. So, this is capacitive drop. So, here you will get the resistive drop. So, this is the mistake which I have done. So, it is I2 by omega C4. So this is the voltage drop across capacitor. The voltage drop across the capacitor. The voltage drop across the capacitor must lag the voltage drop across the resistor by 90 degrees, because the voltage across the capacitor, the current flowing through the capacitor, which is same as the current flowing through the resistor R4 here, the current flowing through the capacitor C4 must lead E4 by 90 degrees, must lead E4 by E4, not E4, EC by 90 degrees. So if it is EC, here you will have the current. So I can consider this as I2 into R4. So I2 into R4 and I2 into omega C, I2 by omega C4, the resultant of these two phasors is E3. Now it is okay. Now it is okay. Now it is I2 into R4. How is I2 into R2? It is in the same phase. So maybe I can take here. It is I2 into R2. And what is I2 into R2? I2 into R2 is same as E2. Let me write here. I2 into R2 is equal to E2. And E2 is also equal to E1 under balanced condition, as the detector current equal to 0. Now this is E1. Now E1 must be the resultant of two drops. One is the resistive drop and the voltage across the inductance. What is the resistive drop? Up to this I can take the resistive drop, which is I1 R1, and this drop I can take I1 into omega L1. So the resultant of I1 R1, I1 omega L1 is E1, right? Right. Now I got E2 phasor. This up to this it is E2 phasor. Up to this it is E2 phasor, this one, and up to this point it is E3 phasor. Up to this point it is E3 phasor. Now what is E? E is the resultant of E2 and E4, or E1 and E3, both are same. Okay. So take the resultant. First draw a parallel line to this line. You need to draw a parallel line, and draw a parallel line to the x-axis line. Now what is this phasor? This phasor is E. Okay. In this way you can draw the phasor diagram even for Hayes bridge. And so this is about the Hayes bridge, how to find the balance condition for Hayes bridge, and how to find how to draw the phasor diagram, and what are the major drawbacks, and where we can use Hayes bridge. Okay. So in the next class will come with two more bridges which are used to measure inductance, and with that we'll finish the measurement of inductance. After that we'll move to the measurement of capacitance. Okay.